From an underwater cave full of skeletons to a glowing beach, here are 10 places that are more mysterious than the Bermuda Triangle. Number 10. The Silfra Rift. This place might just be that place that makes it clear how truly small and insignificant we are. Iceland's Silfra Rift is a deep crack in the ocean that goes down between the North American and Eurasian continents and really brings to light the powerful geological processes that occur on our planet. The two tectonic plates are slowly moving apart, which has created this gap that is a popular site for divers to visit. Not only can you touch two continents in the same place, but the water clarity here is extraordinary. You can see down more than 300 feet in some places. This creates a surreal experience and one that's as daunting as it is spectacular. The movement of the plates also results in an earthquake once every 10 years, so you just better hope you aren't down there the next time one strikes. Number 9. The Rainbow Mountains. There are many astonishing geological sites in the world, but none are more mysterious and unexpected as the Rainbow Mountains at the Zhangye Danxia Landform Geological Park in Gansu, China. Affectionately referred to as the Rainbow Mountains, from these images it's clear to see why. The landscape is splattered with color, almost like a painting, and it draws thousands of tourists each year to see its beauty. While some of the pictures you'll see of the region are incredible, most of them have been subjected to color filters to make them stand out even further. Despite this, the colors are still rich, and it's hardly necessary to alter the true views in any way. The reason why the mountains have developed like this is because of continual layers of mineral deposits that have been left over millions of years. 50 million years ago, when the island, now present-day India, crashed into the continent, it slowly forced the mountains upwards and revealed all of the different layers to create the spectacular scenes we see today. Number 8. Caño Cristales. Colombia's Caño Cristales, or the Crystal Channel, is often referred to as the liquid rainbow. It's a river like no other in the world, and until the 2000s was completely inaccessible because of guerrilla activity in the region. Now, though, the Colombian military has secured the nearby town of La Macarena, which has opened up the tourism industry for those wanting to be enraptured by this spectacular sight. The reason this place feels so special and mysterious is not, as you may have initially thought, algae or moss, but an aquatic plant called Macarena clavigera. To grow, this plant needs very precise conditions, such as the perfect water level and amount of sunlight. When it receives them, it blooms in a wide range of vibrant colors and gives the river its stunning hue. The plants are most commonly red colors, such as pinks and maroons, but they can also be blue, yellow, orange, or bright green. As you could imagine, the locals who live nearby have for centuries held superstitions about the river and take great pride in it. Recently, the effects of tourism have been found to be devastating for the delicate flowers. Environmental impact rules have now been brought in that limit the daily number of visitors to 200, and they are strictly kept away from disturbing the plants. They aren't allowed to enter the waters while wearing insect repellent or sunscreen, and of course, you aren't supposed to leave any garbage anywhere around the area. And now for number 7, but first, if you are a returning subscriber, welcome back! And if you are new here, be sure to subscribe and click the notification bell so you don't miss out on the latest videos. What lake is known for turning animals into stone? Put your answer in the comments. The real answer is coming up. Number 7. Giant Crystal Cave. While we may understand a lot of what happens on our planet's surface, very little is known about what happens underneath it. At the turn of the century, 2 miners in Mexico who were searching for lead made an unbelievable discovery: a cave full of giant crystals. Formed from gypsum, these crystals would have slowly grown over hundreds of thousands of years, with some of them stretching more than 35 feet long. The region used to be covered in water, but a huge area was drained in 1975 to allow for mining operations. This is when the crystals stopped growing, because it's thought they originally formed because of superheated water that passed through the cave and was saturated with minerals. The cave system, at 950 feet below the surface, is large enough to drive a car through, but this place is steaming hot. The extreme temperatures caused by a nearby hot spring make it impossible to stay down there for longer than 10 minutes. This has made further exploration very tricky, and it's still not known why the crystals formed at such strange angles, or what other secrets might lay buried down there. Number 6. The glowing sea of Vaadhoo Island. The Maldives is one of the most beautiful places on Earth, but at nighttime the island of Vaadhoo reveals one of its secrets that makes its beaches truly unique. The island is part of the Ra Atoll and only has 500 permanent residents. The sand on the beaches, though, is full of plankton, which at nighttime emit an eerie blue glow that lights up the ocean. This bioluminescence occurs as a side effect of the phytoplankton's production of toxins that are poisonous to fish, other animals, and humans in an attempt to prevent from being eaten. While they may look stunning, you wouldn't want to swallow a mouthful of these during your midnight swim. Even if a fish eats one, it will continue to glow inside its belly, and it reduces its own chances of hiding from predators. Number 5. Spotted Lake Kliluk. Located between the Okanagan and Similkameen valleys in British Columbia's desert, the Spotted Lake, also known as Kliluk, is one of the most bizarre places on Earth. It contains large quantities of magnesium sulfate, calcium, and sodium sulfates, as well as various other minerals and elements such as silver and titanium. The unusual thing about this place is that during the summer, as the lake waters evaporate, large pools of these deposits are left on the ground, which form this unusual spotted pattern. During those summer months, it's actually possible to walk along the dry lake bed in between these large circular mounds. It has been an important feature in the region for thousands of years and was known as Kliluk by the first people who lived nearby who used it as a source of medicine. To this day, stone cairns surround the lake as a memorial to the site's importance, and there are grave markers for those that died nearby. Number 4. Eternal Flame Falls. Amongst all the hustle and bustle of New York is a mysterious place that has left scientists baffled. Hidden beneath the Eternal Flame Falls in Chestnut Ridge County Park is a cave that hosts the New York Eternal Flame. Thought to have been lit by settlers in the region thousands of years ago, the flame continually burns, and on the occasions that it does go out, is relit by passing hikers. The mystery surrounding this place, though, is that no one really knows how this is possible. It had long been thought that it was the result of a release of natural gas being formed within extremely hot rocks beneath the surface. But researchers have recently found that the rocks are nowhere near hot enough for this process to work, so the gas must be being formed in some other way. If this is the case, then it could reevaluate our understanding of the conditions necessary for gas production, and maybe even lead to the discovery of much larger gas reserves beneath the Earth than previously thought. Number 3. Yonaguni Monument. Just off the shore of Yonaguni Island in Japan is a mysterious structure. The island itself is the westernmost inhabited island of the country and lies about 67 miles from the east coast of Taiwan. Beneath the waves is what has become known as the Yonaguni Monument, a pyramid-like structure with staircase terraces, flat sides, and sharp corners. It was discovered in the 1980s by a team of local divers, but as of yet, there's no clue as to what it is or how it came to be there. On finding it, the divers thought it was the sign of a sunken city, but there's no evidence to suggest any other works in the area. Further studies led to the belief that it was a structure from an ancient civilization, but there's still a debate as to whether it's man-made or simply a natural structure. It's quite possible that it was man-made because the region would have been above water thousands of years ago when it was a part of the mainland. The strong currents and large population of hammerhead sharks nearby makes it very difficult to explore in detail though, so it remains a mystery and it is a huge attraction for visiting divers, if you're not squeamish about sharks. Number 2. The Sac Aktun Cave. In early 2018, scientists announced an important discovery, that of the world's largest known underwater cave system in the Yucatan Peninsula in Mexico. It's 216 miles long and astonishingly contains artifacts that are up to 15,000 years old, including some of which are human skeletons. One of the skeletons has been dated back 13,000 years, and there are numerous caves full of ancient Mayan pottery, bones, and even the remains of extinct creatures like giant sloths, proto-elephants, and an unknown bear species. Throughout its history, the cave has gone through periods of flooding and drought. During the dry times, it would have been the ideal sanctuary for those looking for shelter, and explains why it was so heavily used by all kinds of living things. Unfortunately, the contents of the cave are now under threat, with very little time for researchers to fully understand what took place here. Local water holes that are popular with divers, a major highway that passes nearby, and a large landfill site have all contributed to increasing levels of acidity in the water, which can cause the artifacts to disintegrate. The race is now on to try and prevent further damage and to search as much of the system as possible before its secrets are lost forever. Number 1. Lake Natron. Lake Natron is quite simply one of the most bizarre, mysterious, and frightening places on the planet. It's in Tanzania and on the surface looks completely serene. The water here holds a secret though, and you definitely wouldn't want to swim in it. So which lake is famous for being able to turn animals into stone? Lake Natron. How? The pH level of the water here is about 10.5, which is more than enough to burn the skin and the eyes of any creature that hasn't had a chance to adapt. This high alkalinity is due to the sodium carbonate and other minerals that have washed down from the surrounding hills, and it leads to some unbelievable consequences. While the waters are home to numerous species, including more than 2 million flamingos, they have strange effects on dead bodies. Those that die there are submerged in the water and coated in the minerals that it contains. Over time, as the water evaporates and the flesh of the deceased decays, all that remains is a stone crust, in exactly the same shape as what it once covered. It's very similar to the fossilization process, but it happens in a matter of months instead of millions of years. For those that are unlucky enough, their visit to the lake can quite literally be a petrifying experience. Thanks for watching! Have you ever visited any of these places? Let us know in the comments below. Be sure to subscribe and I'll see you next time. Bye!